I'm seeing some hopes for at the uncle and at the pedestal. We are up. So we start off with a small key to Castle Tower. That's very interesting. There's 2 small keys for Castle Tower, and if we need to get to the east side of the Dark World through Aghanim 1, we're going to need the small keys. So that's a pretty good find to get early on.
DK found 10 sticks in the sanctuary after saving and quitting straight out of his home. Let's see where he's going next.
Well, Matt is going to check out the tree pool, more wooden sticks, and then he's going to go pay a visit to... Whilst it looks like DKs is actually going to pull off a hula hand play. He's going to jump in the water here a few times to displace his sprite on the map, and meanwhile Matt claims a bottle from the... But DKs is going to jump off a few times here, then lift up the bush and jump in the hole there. And that will put him in the hula hand room, so where he can claim around about 200 rupees. Speaking of rupees, Matt7898 just picked up 300 rupees from the Hyrule Castle sewers, so he's probably not going to follow up and do that hula hand play. Right, Matt is making his way out of Sanctuary now and is heading over to Kakariko, and DKS is going to be following pretty with just slightly less rupees. Enough rupees to pick up a pack of bombs and whatever is being sold by the bottle vendor.
Looks like Matt is going for the Lost Woods checks first, the Thieves' Hideout and the Vanilla Mushroom location.
Yeah, he's skipping the Lumberjack check, and I would be making that Lumberjack check myself, because with an early Castle Tower seed, that puts Aghanim 1 on the mind. Aghanim 1 won't be necessary this seed, and if it is, we want to find out what's down at Lumberjack that we will be needing.
I always make that check as well myself. And
ooh, from
orders are having bombs tonight.
Oh yes, that's a very good find. If they need to get any bombs, they can just farm a few. No need to spend room. DKS is making that Lumberjack check. Piece of art in the Thieves' Hideout in the Lost Wood. Ooh, I just missed what that Lumberjack item was. I'll just have a quick look again. I still couldn't see it. I don't know what is on Lumberjack. Perhaps our tracker tonight can tell. Tonight's tracking for us is Nipboy, and he's going to be got the job of tracking down where all of these keys are found, what dungeons they're for, and how many our runners have. It's quite a bit more work required than usual. In Blind's Hideout, we've got a key, small key to Skullwood, the compass for Tower of Hera, a fighter sword, that's a very nice find to find. Oh, and the lamp. That's going to put Aghanim 1 on the mind even more now. Unlike regular randomizer runs, the compass is it's got a bit more use than those. It will tell you how many items you've gotten within a dungeon, so you can know whether you've full cleared or not. But that's still pretty useless. Most runners know how many chests are in a dungeon and if they've managed to grab them all or not.
And the maps will actually let you know what dungeon is what reward at it, so you don't really know if it's a pendant or a crystal until you have that map. Or you kill the boss and get the...
Yeah, significantly more useful in a Ganon seed like this. In an all dungeon seed, not so great, because you'll be just clearing all the dungeons anyway. Ooh, we've got the bug nets in a row. Now, we don't have the Master Sword or the cape for getting into Aghanim 1, but if you find the cape anywhere, that puts Aghanim 1 in. Although I believe you can actually use the fighter sword to swat away the Aghanim projectiles. Anyway, the bug net is just for additional swag. Everybody loves swag.
Everybody likes to show off once in a while, especially that net. And the Cane of Burna in the chicken hut.
Right, I believe the Cane of Burna will get them into... no, it won't get them into Aghanim Tower. You need the cape to be able to get past that electric barrier.
We're getting a sick kid check from Matt, and the little guy's got a big key. Misery Mire, alright.
Yeah, that is a necessary key if we need to clear Misery Mire. There is our first Ganon's small key in the back of the Kakariko.
And Matt's going to head south and check the library and probably the race game.
Yeah, if we need that lumberjack item, which I still have no idea what it was, then there might be an item here. That's the mirror. That is the mirror on the library. We're going to get boots sometime this seed. I imagine pretty early, given the all the clues leading to Aghanim 1 already.
Not even going to look and see what is on the race game. Just going to go ahead and blindly check it here with Matt.
Yeah, it's a pretty good gamble to making key sanity. There's a much higher chance of finding an item that's worth your time on the racing game, because it could be any number of keys as well as all the other items in the pool. And today we have gloves, so that gamble was worth it. Saves a bit of time.
Looks like DK is going to go and check to see what it is first. He will be doing that to get those power gloves.
Yeah, so it loses a bit of time. And he hasn't checked the uncle yet in the Hyrule Castle sewers to pick up that bottle, so he's missed out on the sick kid check too. Meanwhile, Matt is proceeding into the back of the Hyrule Castle.
We're going to see what's in the 3 chests here in the back of Scaife. Probably check the Dark Cross if he gets the key here. Oh, he won't get a key here. Sorry.
Oh, we've got Master Sword. Aghanim 1 is in logic.
Key to Misery Mire and Pod's map. We do need one more small key for Aga, so we're going to be looking for that first.
Indeed, that's just the only item putting the castle tower out of the whole castle tower out of logic. They can still take one chest in the castle tower though, and if that's a necessary item, that is going to annoy them if they never find that second.
DK going down to get his Master Sword and his map for Pod.
So Matt is doing the usual South Hyrule route. He's checking a dam first, 100 rupees inside. Looks like DKS is going to make the exact same route. It's a very popular route. There's still a lot of items to be found on this run down south. As with Shahasvala, or as I prefer to pronounce it, Shalashashka, not so many items. You can of course loop into Eastern, and most of Eastern is in logic with that lamp now, but they won't be able to clear it, they won't be able to get to the Amos Knights.
We did find the Swamp Palace big key under the lake next to the dam with Matt, so we'll get to see parts of the swamp or at least the big chest. Sorry.
Vanilla hookshot, please, like I requested. Ooh, Matt decides to go back and get one bomb because he's probably going to go loop up and check Ice Rock Cave too, and keeps one bomb in pipe. Or if he decides to dip into Eastern, we've got a small key to Desert Palace, the Compass of Eastern, Piece of Heart, another big key to Skull Woods there, and a small key to Misery Mire. So nothing particularly progression worthy in Mini Moldom Cave today, just keys. Ooh, that's an 8 bomb drop forward.
Matt being very careful of those crabs. They do a lot of damage. 2 full hearts in the light world.
Yes, another hit from the crabs will take him out. They've only got 4 hearts, so even if they're full life, they can only take 2 hits maximum from those crabs.
We just gotta see my favorite enemy in the game. He's only there unless you're an Randomizer, and he just blows up for no reason.
Yeah, save some time. Doesn't have to wait for the Bane of Evil's Bane to strike it down. Blade of Evil's Bane, rather.
There's DK with his keys from Mini Moldorm, probably headed up to Ice Rod Cave, where we find the flute!
Yeah, Matt is going to be taking that flute and immediately activate. That doesn't put too much of Death Mountain in logic yet, because they don't have the mirror to get up to the top of Spectacle Rock. We know that the mirror is locked behind the boots in the library. There is good chance that boots won't be from Salasashka himself, but they might be somewhere in Eastern Palace. Eastern Palace is one of those dungeons that doesn't require any small keys to complete at all. You only need the big key to get into the back if you want to defeat Armos. Of course, they will need the both to defeat Armos too, and even to get to Armos to beat the red Igors in front of a door.
DK getting really lucky with enemy drops of bombs. Had a crab drop 4 outside Ice Rod Cave.
Matt is unleashing the goose to wreak havoc upon the world of High, dropping off bird poo and occasional links to wherever they may be. We'll see where he flutes to first.
Death Mountain.
He's going to return the Old Man. Unlike most Old Man returns up Death Mountain, they've got the lamp today, so this is in logic, although it's a not particularly hard sequence break to perform, and one that most runners, if they find themselves up Death Mountain for whatever reason, would make.
This will unlock his 3rd spawn point. We can respawn here on Death Mountain, making life a little bit easier for him. Chat's having a guessing game as to where to find the boots, seeing Pyramid Ledge, Eastern Palace.
I've got Pyramid Ledge already pegged as Moon Pearl so far. I've seen it there before. It's a mean location because it's in logic. You don't have to do any super bunny tricks to get over to the Pyramid Ledge once you're in the Dark World for killing Aghanim.
Piece of art on top of Spectacle Rock.
Yeah, so they won't be needing the mirror for that today unless they need to get up to Hera and don't have the hookshot.
They would also need the hammer for that, and a hookshot inside Spectacle Rock. The treasure here is going to be that hint tile.
DKS is checking out Salashaska's hut. We find the map to Skull Woods, the compass to Misery Mine, and the boots! French vanilla boots. No green pendant necessary today, but in the exact same house you would normally find them.
Excellent find. He's going straight to get the library check done. Oh, maybe not.
Meanwhile, Matt, finding nothing on Death Mountain that will advance his progress, is going to get those boots faded. DKS is actually fluting to the witch's hut. It looks like it was a mistake. He is going back to Kakariko to pick up that mirror.
So I don't think anybody does a Duck World tour intentionally like that.
He is probably thinking he could loop in the Zora area. They do have the gloves for that, but they would only be able to check the Zora himself, and they don't have enough money to actually pay up.
And we do now know from Sashrala that the green pendant is in Thieves Town.
Thieves Town is one of those dungeons that the runners like to usually clear out anyway, because you can find quite a lot of items in there, and you only need a big key to get into the back. And a small key if you want to check out the big key.
Even in Keysanity, Sashrala will tell you where the green pendant is, and the bomb shop merchant in the Dark World will tell you where both red crystals are. So a lot of runners do check both of those places to find out what's...
As mentioned previously, we don't know whether the dungeons are pendants or crystals in Keysanity. That information is obscured until we find the maps for those. And even if you were to walk into the dungeons themselves, normally in the pendant dungeon, you get one musical theme. In another pendant dungeon, in another crystal dungeon, you get a completely different musical theme. But in Keysanity, those are randomized. You may walk into Eastern Palace and hear the crystal music and think this is a crystal dungeon, clear it out, and then find all you get is a red pendant.
Looks like DK is going down to the prison under Hyrule Castle to see what we can find there in the escape sequence.
Yeah, much better idea to be checking out the escape sequence before... Oh, we have got the hammer in...
That was Bonk Rocks.
We don't have the Moon Pearl yet, so that's not yet Dark World access. If they find the Moon Pearl, they can get into Dark World from the back of... So essentially, we're looking for one of two things to get into the Dark World now. Either the Moon Pole or a small key to Castle Tower. And they will be wanting to find that small key anywhere but... what am I talking about? Essentially,
Matt did do a lumberjack check, and there is only 50 rupees on the ledge, so we will not be going to take out that tree after killing Aghanim if we need to do that at all.
Yeah, they are probably going to check everywhere they possibly can to find that moon. Because Aghanim is a big time sink.
We saw the spin glitch for speed with Matt here going up Death Mountain.
Matt7898 uses the mirror to get to the top of a spectacle rock, even in bunny form, which is what you would normally do in the vanilla game. Just like the vanilla game, there's a piece of heart on top of spectacle. Well, we're going to see what's in Zelda Cell in the back of Escape, just 300 rupees.
He's going for the Dark Cross check. And we find the big key to Ice Palace in the basement of Tower of Hera.
Yeah, we don't have the big key to Tower of Hera yet, I believe, so they cannot get to the top. This is just going to be a couple of checks. And yep, they've got to mirror out. Small key to Dark Palace, one of... Dark Palace being particularly notorious in key sanity, because you need usually about 5 keys to if you want to clear out Hammersall, 6 keys if you want to unlock every single door in. And those keys can be in many locations.
Sorry there, Ocelot, but we did find a bottle in the Dark Cross, and half magic is on the floating island of Death Mountain.
Right, when we end up in Easter Mountain Dark World later, we can pick up that half magic. Most runners will probably take their time to go, especially if they are lacking a couple of items to make Ganon easier, such as the silver arrows.
The map's Tower of Hera found in Spiral Cave, not too far from where it's useful.
And we get a quick map check. Tower of Hera is a crystal today.
The 7th crystal specifically, which in the vanilla game would mean that that is where Princess Zelda is found.
So we're going to have a look inside Paradox Cave next. Whilst dKs is making the same Death Mountain checks with that mirror in hand.
He's part of the Book of Medora.
Yep, and they've got the lamp, they've got the power glove, so they may be taking a visit to Desert Palace. Heart Container and Compass to Swamp Palace in the West Paradox Cave. Single green rupee, another big key to... Oh, hey, there's Tower of Hera big key. We can go back.
I'm going to see the bomb jump here from Matt.
Nicely done.
dKs going for his Spectacle Rock. He's going to get that hint. And that piece of heart. Chat pointing out we can get the Ether Tablet now with the Book of Medora in hand and the Master Sword.
So Matt is predictably heading straight back to Tower of Hera, but first he's going to make a stop by the Ether Tablet because they've got the book and the Master Sword. So what are we going to be blessed with from the skies today? Just cash. How often is it that you have money rain on you from the skies?
Personally, if I found money raining from the skies, I really wouldn't question it.
We're not going to be able to check out the basement of Hera today because we don't have that single small key. And it always doesn't feel great when you are clearing out Tower of Hera but have to leave the basement behind because that's a pretty lengthy check and it takes a little bit of time to get back. get a quick Dark World check from dKs. We've got crystals at Skullwoods and Palace of Dark.
A unique item is in the Sage's Closet. Yes, we got the, that's where we found the Pegasus boots.
Yeah, we actually needed those boots to get that mirror so that we could even get to this hint owl in the first place. So, completely redundant hints today.
We also needed the boots to get to the hammer, which would have led you in from the other side, so absolutely. That being slick and dashing past that bumper.
dKs decides to save and crit out of Tower of Hell. They're not going to check out the east side because they actually didn't pick up that hammer. Meanwhile, Matt is going to be checking on Moldor. He's going to use spin strats against Moldor, but he only has the Master Sword, so we could still be dealing with a very angry worm here. Yep, there he goes. But he takes him down anyway. Nice.
DK is going for his hammer in the Bonk Rocks.
And we've got flippers from Moldor, so that doesn't get us in Dark World yet.
Well, that does open up quite a few checks for Matt. He does have the money to go to Zora. And with the flippers, he can get Zora Ledge and the Waterfall of Wishing. With that Whirlpool, he can also check Hobo.
Yep, that's all in logic now. No fake flippers necessary today. And that is indeed the route he's going to make. I imagine he's probably going to go in to have a look around Eastern after Zora, or possibly Desert Palace. They're going to be looking everywhere for that moon power to try and avoid Aghanim 1.
Piece of heart on Lake Hylia Island.
Yeah, so we don't need the mirror for that today. If they do find the second Castle Tower's Morky first, I imagine they're probably going to bite the bullet and risk Aghanim 1 anyway.
Let's see what our homeless friend has for us today.
I don't know whether the hobo is being generous or just because Link is threatening him with a sword most.
Full heart container from the hobo today.
He's got nothing but love in his heart for us.
Matt choosing to flute back to get to the whirlpool to take him to Zora as opposed to swimming down. Probably saving himself some time here.
Yeah, pretty good use of that flute there.
DK doing the dashes through Spiral Cave.
We've got the bow. Oh, and there's Moonpole. No Aghanim 1 today.
And we will get what fills up our bottles from the ferry today. And it's just a bee.
We've called this the B-top fountain. But yes, that is a particularly good waterfall cave. Both the bow and the Moonpole, which puts Eastern Palace and the Dark World now. No Agra 1 necessary, but they may want to send up there to go check the items anyway, just in...
We do have a small key on Zora Ledge. So Matt will be going up to get that once he sees what the big fish has for us. Hopefully not a life lesson.
Just a big bit of love. He's not generous like the hobo, he doesn't give out his love free.
It is a small key to Turtle Rock.
So Matt is going to start off with a South Dark World check. He's probably going to go straight into Hype Cave. And maybe pay a visit by the bomb shop to find out where the 5 and 6 crystals are.
With 5 items in Hype Cave and knowledge for those 2 red crystals, that's pretty good. And we have crystals in Skullwoods and Pod, and the green pendant we already knew was in Thieves' Town.
Yeah, we did get a map tech from DKS that showed those crystals earlier, but wonderful tracker has already taken care of that. They are both ways. So, what have we got from Hype Cave today? Let's get the Hype Cave scale going. Single heart container. $20. Blue mail. 10 arrows. And red boomerang. Blue mail is okay. But not much else. It's just basically a survivability cave. I'd give that 4 out of 10.
I'm going to agree with you and with Chad, a 4 on 10. It looks like we're going to get that Swamp Palace check, hopefully get that vanilla hook shot.
We can't get truly into Swamp Palace yet. We don't have the small key.
Oh, we do not have the small key, you're correct.
Nothing on the hint tile. Matt may or may not decide to use a mirror just to check the first chest. If the small key was in the first chest, that would be horrible. He's not choosing to do that today, though.
He's probably going to go check the Bombos tablet, just go in here. Then he might go and jump down and check Akina's cave.
And then loop over to the desert if he so wishes. dKs is going to do a bomb jump over to the big key chest in Tower of Hera and gets it.
Some replacement bombs for his trouble, and Matt choosing not to go west into the desert.
If I was in the area, I'd go check out Agina at least. He's a pretty isolated check, and you don't want to be having to loop back around from the other side of the world to check him out for that one item you may be needing. Usually a pretty nice idea to just get him out of the way, well, if you find yourself. We're going to be checking out the south of the rest of the south of Darkworld first, which is considerably more item rich.
Small key from Stumpy for Thieves Town.
Yep, that gets us to that big key chest, but we don't actually have the big key to Thieves Town. When they do find that big key, they can clear it out if they so wish, but it's only a pendant dungeon today.
A small key in Cave 45, which is for Turtle Rock.
Meanwhile, dKs gets his first crystal from Tower.
And those very valuable flippers, which will hopefully lead him very quickly to the bow.
Matt chooses to float away from the mirror portal rather than going back to the Dark World, but he does not actually have enough rupees to check out the digging game. He needs 100 rupees for the digging game. So we're going to leave that behind for now, and instead we're going to go check out Village of Outcasts from the other side. dKs is doing his flippers check. He's going to be getting his bow and moon pearl very shortly, and can forget completely about killing Aghanim 1.
We have chat asking why it's called Cave 45. Well, for Randomizer, someone made a guide, and that was the 45th check.
Chat points out that Matt did have the option of going into the arrow shooting minigame and farming some rupees there so that he could then check out the digging. Not something you see very often. It's more common in Inverted Seas, and because you start off in the Dark World in Inverted Seas, and if you don't find any cash, you've got to farm it. The arrow shooting minigame being the best place for that.
Matt finding the big key to Thieves Town in Skull Woods, and the ice rod.
Pretty nice location for the ice rod. If Turtle Rock is a crystal day, we're not going to have to go hunting for it. Skull Woods is a crystal today, though, so we're going to need to get that fire rod from somewhere. Hopefully not like a race I was part of last night, where the fire rod was found on Laser Bridge and Turtle Rock, as well as the ice rod. Ooh, watch out for that Wallmaster. Nicely avoided. Ooh, struggling a bit with the statue there. I don't think he pulled it to the side enough. He takes the mirror and decides to try. The ice rod does not work on those gibblers, I'm afraid. Only the fire rod is going to give you the key.
That is a tricky pull to make if you don't kill the Gibdos, because you're dodging them as well as that Wall Master.
Much easier to do if you have the Cane of Samaria.
For those who may be wondering why they're called Wall Masters, in the original NES Zelda, they used to crawl along the edges of the room on the walls before jolting out to grab.
Yeah, in Ocarina of Time, the Wall Master still descended from the ceiling to try and grab you, but they also had Floor Masters, which just stuck along the floor and tried to occasionally give you nasty flicks.
Remember right, there were a couple invisible ones as well. Or was that Shadow?
There were a couple of invisible ones dotted all around. You needed the Lens of Truth to see those. And nothing on Bumper Cave today, so we're not going to be turning invisible ourselves to go get that Bumper Cave item. We're going to get a great...
DK picking up his blue mail, showing that he is using the hat color Link sprite.
Yeah, I had noticed this Link sprite was slightly off color, and now you can see that he's turned into a rather nasty shade of mustard.
Matt finding a heart container on Graveyard Ledge. And with the mirror and the boots, he will probably mirror over and check the King's Tomb.
And from there, he'll probably jump in the river with those flippers and check out the rest of East. So we're getting a lot of overroad checks done at the moment, which is a very reasonable choice to make in Key Sanity because most of the overroad isn't locked behind keys, and you can find all the keys that you would need to then go into the dungeons and clear.
The compass to Thieves Town found in King's Tomb, and DK going to check that first chest in Swamp Palace.
Ooh, this is a gamble. Let's see if it pays off. It's a shovel.
Want to do a fetch quest?
It actually doesn't take that far to get back to the shovel spot from here, so yeah, why not?
Really hope that pays off for him.
Meanwhile, Matt is going to be checking out the village of Outcasts. Three bombs in the C-shaped house.
DK picking up his big 20 from the Bombos tablet and also choosing not to go west into the desert.
We are going to check out the chess game because we do have enough rupees for that. Single rupee and a small key. Oh, there's a small key to Tower of Hera, so that puts that basement check back in logic.
It is a long way to go for just one item check, though. We're going to go straight into Thieves Town with Matt.
Yeah, he's hoping to find some items in the front here. In fact, there's Ether Medallion. Perhaps a French vanilla big key too, so that we can get into the back. DKS has gotten his item from Stumpy and is going to be checking out the just a big 20.
Matt found the fighter's shield in Thieves Town.
Doesn't block a whole lot. It'll probably block wooden arrows from guards, but we're not going to be dealing with too many of those. Perhaps in the castle tower if we were to go up there, but unnecessary.
Our third item is the map to Ice Palace.
Ooh, there's the hook shot in Thieves Town.
Well, looks like you didn't get your wish tonight.
Does he have the Thieves Town big key? Oh, yes he does. Huh, I completely missed that. Okay, so we can actually clear out Thieves Town. And also, because we've got a spare little small key, we can check out the big key chest.
And we have DK doing the dig game. He did have the rupees for it.
And is digging up a whole lot more rupee.
Looks like he's getting his money back. Matt going to check that wonderful hint tile. We have a big key in the dig game, and it is for Dark Palace.
Yep, that is a necessary one today.
And The hint from Thieves Town telling us that the big key to Thieves Town is in the Skull Woods. Matt already found that.
So we're going to check out the last item in the attic. We're going to bomb the ceiling and maybe take blind over there to just clear out the... It is a green pendant today, so getting that green pendant will give us another item check in logic. Just a bottle in the attic.
DK is heading for the Dark World. We'll see if he goes into the Village of Outcasts, or if he's going to go north into Skull Woods. The play would be to go into Skull Woods to get that big key for Thieves Town.
A lot of runners like to check out Thieves Town first, simply because you've got the 4 chests right there, and they're all pretty quick to check.
DK making the right choice. In terms of progression, anyway.
Meanwhile, Matt is proceeding to pick up the maiden in blind space. Do you think blind is male or female? He takes the disguise of a maiden.
Well, in the vanilla game, in Blind's hideout, the woman on the first floor does mention that blind is a he.
We've got a small key to Hyrule Castle in the big key chest. Not useful today.
We find the cape in the big chest of Skull Woods with DK.
Unfortunately, neither there's nothing at Bumper Cave, and we don't need a cape to get in Aga Tower today, so unnecessary. Alright, we are going to take on Blind.
This being a scripted fight, it is 9 hits with any of the weapons that will actually damage him. Cane of Samaria, the hammer, or any of the swords.
Yeah, and if we get off script and end up in some danger, we can also use the Cane of Burner. Very nice kill. Just some bombs from Blind, but we do have that green pendant, so when we stop by Eastern later, we can pay a visit to Salashashko.
DK is going to do his graveyard checks. And we get to see what's in the bombable hut with Matt.
Yeah, DK is essentially making the exact same route that Matt is. The only difference was he didn't check out the escape of the Hyrule Castle sewers to begin with, so he didn't get the items back there, which I forget what they were, to be fair.
You see that there's a crystal in Ice Palace with a check from Matt, who also found the Swamp Palace small key in the bombable hut of Village of Outcasts.
Oh, Matt is now making that Arrow game mini-play. I mean, bleh? I'm talking nonsense. Arrow mini-game, there we go. Again, this is something you normally only see in inverted or sometimes retro mode. Simply because in retro mode, you need a lot of rupees.
Yes, especially once you find the silvers, when every silver arrow costs you 50 rupees.
Pay to win strats.
Matt going for the dig game, not immediately finding the same amount of rupees that DK did, but he will find that key.
Meanwhile, DKS is going into Village of Outcasts.
Well, I say he's not finding rupees, and then he starts finding a bunch. And there's the pod big key for Matt. We'll see where he's going to go next.
Our tracker...
Sorry, go ahead, please.
Our tracker only has no small keys down for Palace of Darkness yet on Matt's side, so most of that isn't really in... You can check out the chest in the front, and that's about it. We're going to need to get some information from the bomb shop now.
Desert
Desert
Palace
and
Turtle Rock.
Yep, that's our 5 and 6 today.
Desert Palace, not so bad, but Turtle Rock. Runners usually like to save Turtle Rock's crystal for last, because it's so close to Ganon's Tower, saves them a bunch of time. And we get to make the foray into Swamp Palace.
We have got that small key, so we can go straight in.
Matt using that glitch with the mirror to get the block to disappear. You can also use the hookshot, provided you have something behind it that you can hookshot to and just bolt through it.
So Matt gets his shuffle from the first chest, like dKs before, and he's going to proceed in.
DK is picking up the effectively worthless hint about the Thieves Town Big Key that is behind the Thieves Town Big Key, and giving it a slash for good measure.
I mean, if you were in Thieves Town and you didn't have the big key, you would like a hint about that, but you don't want a hint locked behind the big key itself. The most redundant of hints you could possibly conceive.
I did not get to see what was in that first chest, or the second chest of Swamp Palace with Matt.
I missed it myself too, but I don't think it was anything worthwhile because it's not on our track.
It was bombs, thank you, chat.
So as long as we don't go flooding any keys or anything, we can full clear this dungeon. We don't know if it's a pendant or a crystal. It's probably well worth checking out the left side simply because it's more checks, and we need to make a lot of more checks than usual in key.
That's right, it's not just the go mode items we're looking for, we're also trying to find enough keys to be able to finish this off. And the Titan's Mitts in the south room of Swamp Palace.
Matt is choosing to go to the left side before finishing the dungeon. Pretty reasonable play to make.
Better safe than sorry, especially with this one. And he remembers not to drown the key. Having done that a couple times myself, it is quite embarrassing.
Yeah, so if you do flood the key, I believe you have to exit out of Swamp Palace and make a few map transitions over so that the water around Swamp Palace resets. You then have to go back into Light World, drain the dam again, and go back into...
That's not something you ever want to do, especially in a race scenario. DK is having no trouble with his blind fight.
Takes him down nice and cleanly, and gets his green pendant.
Matt gonna jump down the left hole here in this first floor room and hookshot over to get the second check and get to see what's here.
Yeah, not something you can normally do in the vanilla game because you get the big key chest, you get the big key over here, and then you can use that to get the hookshot in the big.
We do find the map for Ganon's Tower.
Yes, we can find out if Ganon's Tower today is a pendant or a crystal.
And then another map, the one for Misery Mire.
It's quite a bit more useful than a Ganon's Tower map.
DK throwing his bomb a little too far, trying to throw it through the bombable hut in Village of Outcasts, giving some bushes some grief.
Gets his swamp key from the, I believe that's a brewery.
Duly noted.
Not that I think the Village of Outcast actually does much brewing. It's mostly populated by ghosts and thieves. And neither of those are particularly known for actually making beer.
Can't say I've known either to brew myself, so I'm going to agree with you on that.
So dKs is heading straight over to Swamp. He's got that small key, he's got the hook shot. It's a great play to up until we find out it's a pendant at least. But we don't know that yet.
We find a piece of heart and some bombs in the underwater chests of Swamp Palace. And the Quake Medallion.
Yep, we've got a pretty good chance of getting into Misery Maya and Turtle Rocket.
Provided they are vanilla or just mirrors of their vanilla states.
We could be unlucky and find out they're both bombers, and we will also need a bomb boss to get through Ice Palace because no fire rod or, you know, very silly.
And Matt on his way to Argus as dKs does jump into Swamp Palace.
He's going to use Master Sword spin strats against the R guy. If you're hookshotting the R guy from below there, you're often going to get hit by them. It's he's getting low, so he's going to go for a safer angle of attack now.
He's got to be careful. He has very little health left, even with the blue nail. He could still wind into trouble very quickly.
Oh, we're going to go for Ice Rod strats here. Misses the Ice Rod. And we're just going to go for spin strats now.
The Ice Rod does take a few frames longer than the Fire Rod to fire, so it does take practice to get used to. He does get the Pendant of Wisdom off of Argus, as well as a big 20.
At the very least, we know he needs to dip in here for the Titan Smiths and at least the Quake Medallion. Don't know if we need that Quake Medallion yet, but oh, we get another check. Missima is a crystal.
And now through process of elimination, we can determine what is in Eastern Palace, which is the Pendant of Power, the red pendant.
Both our runners have the book, so with two pendants, they may be thinking of doing the Eastern Palace play and get the last pendant and do a... But I'd rather go check it out with book first, just for insurance, to find out if we actually need to go clear out the Amos Knights.
So Eastern Palace does have 6, 7 chests in it to check. Values potential. Looks like Matt's gonna check the Myers shed first. 6, not 7. Thank you, chat.
Wow, we've got the cane right in the Myers shed next to Mizumaya. So if they want to go clear up Maya, they can pretty much do that right now, I believe, with the amount of small keys and the big...
Now, I did not see what was the pendant required for Misery Mire. Chat's telling me it is Bombos, which is just bad luck.
Yeah, the 1 in 3 chance not playing in our favor today.
Matt opting to go into Desert Palace as opposed to running around checking Checkerboard Cave first. Which
Just
he can always do later.
The biggie of Evil's Bane is in the dark.
Well, we know it's not in the Dark Cross of the Escape. that could leave the Dark Maze in Castle Tower or the Dark Maze of Pod.
Indeed. Now, they have one small key for getting to the first chest of Agata. And that will also get them to the second chest, I believe, but they will need another small key to clear Aga if they so decide. Not that they need to this time. And we get the big key to Turtle Rock. Matt decides to abandon his portal and just go straight to Agina to check what he's doing in his. If you want to check out Checkerboard, you'll have to go floating back to Mizumaya and warp back to the Dark World.
Agina is hiding a key to Pod. DK is getting close to his fight with Argus. He's about to pick up his Quake Medallion as well.
So Matt is not choosing to go back to Checkerboard Cave. He is just going to go over to East F Map. He's got those Titan Smiths now, so we can check out all the Dark World checks like Super Bunny.
Looks like he's going to climb up to Turtle Rock and go to the Dark World from there. Also getting his medallion check in.
Yep, he can get half magic from the top of Hookshot Cave and also check out all of Hookshot Cave. We'll also find out if we need bombers for Turtle Rock too.
Now dKs is, except for that last one, doing a double, I've always called them cheese puffs, but I guess they're our guy, kills with his hook shot and the spin strats, saving himself potentially a significant amount of time.
We've got Ether for Turtle Rock today.
And he will take the time to open up Turtle Rock right now. With Kana Samaria, he can get in and check the first chest without problems.
Yeah, he doesn't have the fire rod first, so he cannot check out the right side. We've got these small keys to dive a bit further in Turtle Rock if we please, and if we were to get something silly like the fire rod on Laser Bridge, that would be rather nasty, but it's technically in logic if we have for these small keys to get down there. Now, that is going to require a gamble though. He could either check out the vanilla big key chest with one small key, or leave that behind and go to Laser Bridge.
Only 5 rupees in that first chest, and Matt decided to abandon Turtle Rock.
Yeah, without that small key to play, you've got to make a gamble, and that gamble could end up being a lot of lost time if you make the wrong. Much easier to... He'd much prefer to find another small key and then make that dive into Turtle Rock a bit safe, and hopefully the fire rod too.
Matt in Super Bunny Cave finding a small key to Ganon's Tower and the fire rod.
Oh, it's well worth dipping out of Turtle Rock then. No Laser Bridge fire rods today. We have both rods. We can take on Tronex.
Oh, he is in logic with the lamp, the fire rod, the Kana Samaria, the ice rod. Yeah, we're good for that. First Hookshot Cave.
Just $20 from the non-hookshot locked chest. You can get to that with just a series of boots bonks, and that is in logic, having the boots but not the hookshot. Nothing much in Hookshot Cave apart from the tempered sword though.
Matt choosing not to go to the floating island and pick up the half magic. You think he maybe forgot, or was he not the one who saw it?
He has seen it. He saw it on his way to Turtle Rock, so... interesting. I would definitely pick up half magic, at least for Trinex, just in case. And if you were taking on Ganon later and missed a torch glitch, yeah, half magic comes in very useful there too. We're going to be checking out Spike Cave. We've got the Cane of Burner, so like Laser Bridge on Turtle Rock, this is in logic.
And finding the compass to Turtle Rock for his trouble.
It takes the save and crit us, but pretty much anybody in there. Better than draining all of your magic. DKS is going into Turtle Rock himself. We will see if he decides to make the gamble or not.
Oh, he does have his Fire Rod, but he does not have the Cane of Samaria.
Oh,
so he
yes,
cannot go
very
in
true.
At all. He has not been to the Mire Shed yet. DKs is going to get his Tempered Sword.
Let's see if he picks up that half magic too. But he's got to get over to my area and check that out immediately. He's got to get that.
Is Matt looks like he's going to go get his big chest out of Skull Rock, or out of Skull Woods. Or, no, he may just be going straight over to get the, just straight to Mothula.
Indeed, we've got the Fire Rod now. We can clear it out. With Blue Mail, Fighting Hearts, the Fire Rod and Tempered Sword, Mothula is just an annoying bug. Easily swatted.
Maybe once we're done, we will get that highly desired head check, as it is only a mirror and a screen away.
Indeed. DKS has foregoed half magic as well. He's going to go to Spike Cave. Exactly like a match before. It's interesting to me that they both decided to skip half magic. Matt's running low on magic. He's got to be careful around those Gyptos and not waste any Fire Rod shots on them.
He was getting bodied by the Gyptos a little bit, which can cause frustration and problems for anybody. He does pick up the small magic decanter, which will give him one shot with that Fire Rod on the big bad mom.
DKS has fluted away from Death Mountain. I think he's making the exact same play. Going to go into Skull Woods and get that crit.
Matt does take the shot, but does miss, but he still kills that moth, finding his fire shield as the reward.
I mean, with Tempered Sword, he's going to be doing the maximum amount of damage with sword slashes to Mothula that he can do anyway. A bug in the vanilla version of the game is that the Gold Sword, because it does so much damage, has the strange quirk of doing no damage whatsoever to Mothula. But in the Randomizer, that's fixed a bit so that the Gold Sword, for Mothula only, does the same damage as the Tempered. Now he is going to go back in and check that small chest. Very good idea to check that, especially if the mirror makes it a bit faster.
And we'll see what Mothula is hiding in his lobby. And it was just a piece of heart. And we are going to get the ped check. Will it be hype? Will it be garbage?
Sand spills out of his big key. That's a Desert Palace big key. We've got a ped seed.
There you go, chat. You do have ped. The ped is required. Looks like Matt's going to take down Pod and then mirror over the Eastern Palace to get that last pendant.
I do not blame him one bit. Let's get this out of the way.
Plus the time saved with that routing.
Now the problem with Pod is that we only have one small key. And there's actually 6 small keys we can find for Pod. So we'll see how far he's willing to go into Pod, or if he's just going to clear out Eastern instead.
Looks like he's going to get what Sasha Lara's hiding behind that green pendant first. Just a map
useless
of Hyrule
map.
Castle.
Yeah, Sarasaska has backstabbed us today.
DK is also getting hassled by the Gibdos and taking a bunny beam to the back.
Now, I was actually expecting the bunny sprite to be completely different, but it's still the miscolored Link tunic. It's a rather nasty shade of mustard on Link. Would you put Link in your sandwich? I wouldn't.
That does not sound very appetizing. We are in Eastern Palace of Matt, and first thing we get is a piece of heart.
Chad is pointing out that they're speculating a bit about the Gans Tower Big Key. It could be in the Castle Tower too, as well as Palace of Dark.
I did forget about the, oh no. Never mind, don't mind me.
Yep, we've got one small key to get up into Castle Tower and check the 2 chests there. We don't have 2 small keys to clear it out, but we don't need to clear it out anyway.
And there's the ped check from DK's, now knowing he has to go and get that last pendant.
We've got some butters in Eastern Palace.
And Matt dashing past that hint. Let's hope it wasn't anything good. Finding a big 20 in the big chest of Eastern Palace.
Since he's looping around to the vanilla big key chest, he's probably going to get it on his way back. DKS is choosing to make the play of going into Eastern Palace without setting up a mirror portal to Dark Palace. I imagine he doesn't want to go in there at all with just one small.
It's a pretty fair bet. I wouldn't want to venture in there either, because you need 4 or 5 to clear it out.
I mean, we do have the bow, and we've got one small chest on the left side, and then we can immediately use the bow to go check out the 2 chests on the bowlock side. So we've got a couple of chests in logic there, and we don't need any small keys to get them. Vanilla small keys would be very nasty. We find out today that Dodongo dislikes smoke, but in Link to the Past, there are no Dodongos. We do have a couple of Kodongos found in the likes of Tower of Hera and Palace of Dark, but no Dodongos as such.
Unlike Dodongos, those do die to 1 hit with a fighter's sword, where Dodongos needed bombs to kill them. So that's probably a good thing. Matt handling that marble room with extreme ease. And now DK's sword matches his clothes. Kind of.
So we're just going to go pepper these Amos Knights with arrows, hopefully try and get the quick kill without getting the red angry Amos Knights, which is going to require additional... gets the quick kill. Very nicely done.
Now if you don't get that quick kill, the Armos Knight that does get angry will heal back up to full and take another 3 arrows to kill.
So Matt is taking his portal back to Palace of Darkness. He's going to dip in here a little bit. First, we've got the chest on this side, which is always in logic no matter what, as long as he can get into Palace of Darkness in the first place.
And
there's our bombers.
That was a very good play to make, which grants him access to the Misery Mire.
So going to be checking out the bow lock side today, and because we have found a bow, we're not going to be needing to do any bottle glitches. I don't believe they even have a potion to pull off a bottle glitch. They only have B.
He picked up the good bee and an empty bottle. Matt did run out of arrows briefly, but was saved by that 5-drop under the jar.
Small key to Turtle Rock. I think I would have preferred a Pass of Darkness vanilla.
DK's having a little bit of aiming trouble with his Armos fight, and Matt finding another bee.
So we... Oh, maybe? No, we're not going to check out the key down there. We're just going to proceed into the back instead. Now, here's something you may often see in key sanity because of the lack of passive darkness small keys. That would be the hammer jump over to the big chest, where you place a bomb, get yourself bomb jumping to the right location, and then you can just clip through the barrier and claim that big chest and the keys and the chests in the dark maze without needing to spend a small key. Very popular play in key sanity. We'll see if he decides to check it after he checks the basement here. We've got the... Oh, there's the big key to Ganon's Tower.
He also did find... Oh, bugger. I forgot. He found a bee. He found another bee. So that's 3 of our bottles. I'm behind the times. I apologize for that. He found something something that was a note in the turtle room. I just can't remember what it was now.
It was the 4th bottle. Rather the 3rd bottle because he hasn't checked out the Dark Seer like DKS has.
So 4 bottles, 3 of them having bees.
Meanwhile, DKS is going to check out the pedestal. And he's probably going to be a bit upset about it.
He has already done his check. He now has all 3 pendants and will be claiming his Desert Palace key.
Ah, yes. He did the Eastern Palace first. Rather second, but he hasn't gone into Palace of Darkness. And there's our Desert Palace big key.
Matt opting not to hammer jump, but instead taking out King Helmasaur.
Maybe he's not familiar with the hammer jump. It's quite a difficult trick. It's well worth pulling off if you're ever going to do key sanity seeds. But it's quite difficult. You need to get yourself pretty much pixel perfect, and you see most runners when they're attempting to do it using a lot of pause buffers to try and get themselves in the right spot. It's not something I can pull off myself. I have tried a couple of key sanity seeds, but I am pretty useless at bomb jumps.
The hammer jump, I would say, is probably the most difficult bomb jump to make. I can do some of the other ones myself, but that one, no thank you.
Right, so we are going to take on Helmasaur with the big key.
I believe it is 17 hits with the hammer. And you saw that Matt was holding out his sword whilst hitting it to ensure that he was always facing forward, saving himself a few frames here and there. Butter making quick work of that dinosaur.
DK... Oh, we have got powder from Helmasaur King. Meanwhile, DKS is going to make that checkerboard cave check before probably going into Desert Palace and finish. Just a map and checkerboard.
Matt claims his crystal from Pod and is on his way back into the light world. It looks like... I thought he might go to check bats, but looks like not. That's usually my first thought when I get the hammer, is to go check the bat under the blacksmith.
Chat is, I believe, pointing at something that I don't think I've actually realized yet. Except for possibly Ice Palace small keys. We are in go.
I'm never quite sure with key sanity because I don't remember the number of counts we need for the keys. But yes, I would agree to that completely.
We have got the big key and enough small keys to get through Misery Mire. We have the means to clear out Desert Palace, and if we choose to leave behind the vanilla big key chest in Turtle Rock, I think we can clear that out. Of course, we can leave that behind because we have got all of the big keys in this seed, except for no, we do have them all. One was a bit hard to see by Blind's icon, but of course we wouldn't have been able to beat Blind without that big key in the first place. No bird tosses today, it's just going to be set on fire.
And he didn't even leave anything behind. And here we go into Misery Mire with Matt. And DK is going to take out the Land Mollusk.
Except for that Bomber's medallion in the front of Palace of Darkness, DK would also be in go mode, but he hasn't checked out Palace of Darkness, so he could be checking out a lot more items before he decides to go.
He does need that Bombos medallion. Plus, after killing Helmasaur, having that powder is a real nice safety, especially in normal mode. In hard, the anti-fairies do turn into a single heart, as opposed to the lovely, lovely fairy that saves so many of us.
So Matt is not bothering to check any of the chests in here. He's got the gold sword, he's got the blue mail. The only thing they could possibly want at this point is the silver. dKs takes out the land molars.
Lovely fire rod strats there, and he finds a small key to the Dark Palace.
That's a good find.
Sending him back.
Yeah, that could send him back in that direction.
It looks like Matt was trying to set up that utilized the spooky glitch, but didn't quite get the anti-fairy with his fire rod in the right spot, which means that it didn't trigger.
Yeah, no spooking today. We are past October and Halloween. We're going to be getting into the Christmas spirit now rather than the spooky. Right, so here
his favorite eyeball.
Yeah, no silver arrows, but the gold sword makes this pretty trivial anyway. Right, dKs is flooding to 5. He is going to go check out Pod. And probably realise he's in go mode once he picks up that bombers.
I don't know about that, Chad. There are some pretty spooky Christmas legends. May I remind you of the Krampus? And Matt going on to take on the Landmalas.
Yeah, Matt has the definite advantage at this point, simply because he kept a mirror portal handy for Palace of Darkness after going through. dKs did not bother to set that up because he thought he wouldn't need to dip it with the lack of small keys he has. But he's going to get his Bombus medallion from this chest and then realize he's in go mode.
Will he make the same decision to check the basement dark room over the dark maze for that Ganon's Tower big key?
We only need to spend one key to get in the back there, and you have corrected me, he's not quite in go mode yet because he hasn't found that Ganon's Tower. I'm not sure why he decides to use the mirror there. He is just going to go loop back and go back there and do this thing. Probably thought he was going to go check out the Burlock side, but I think he just remembered that the Ganon's Tower big key is in a dark section. So he's just instead going to head to the back here and check out the dark basement.
Matt picking up his small key to Dark Palace, but I don't think he's coming back for the Dark Maze treasures.
DK has already got out his mirror. He's preparing to mirror back if he finds the big key in this area.
Matt summoning his duck.
And there it is.
Witch.
He's going to pick up a couple of blue potions. Because he decides to, well, just one blue person given his money count, he decides to forego half magic at the light world side of a top of hook. And they both saw that item, so they just made the conscious decision to skip it. Not that anything in Ice Palace will prove to be a threat here. He can take out the three swords with just a couple of firebolt shots, use a bombers on Cold Stare, and then go for Cold Stare like a hot butter sword. Through butter, I could say.
DK is going right for Helmasaur.
Yeah, he knows he's in go mode now.
We may not find them, but when we fight him, Ganon will let us know where those silvers were hiding. Personally, I'm a fan of finding them after Moldorm 2.
So Matt is just basically treating Ice Palace in go mode, which is very, very quick dungeon to clear if you are in go mode.
He'll probably also do the bomb jump here after the treadmill.
Yeah, I think
time.
And I think you'd need a small key if you skip the bomb jump too. Misses his first. He's slightly off place for a bit. You've got to line the top of Link's sprite with the wall. I think that. There we go.
I believe you're right. I believe it is the fourth ridge there.
Like I said, I'm terrible at bomb jumps myself. I kind of know how to do them, but I cannot perform them for the life of.
Admittedly, that one is a little bit trickier than the one in Spectacle Rock.
It's probably the most useful bomb jump in the game, though. Saves you so much time in Ice Palace.
And DK also claims his powder from Helmasaur.
But Matt7898, because he's in go mode, he's already at Cold Stare. and this should be a fairly quick and easy. He's got a significant advantage here. I'm not sure how dKs is going to be able to catch up at this point. Not even Silver Arrows, if he finds them, will be get him enough of a make enough of a time difference to let him catch up with Matt.
Unless Matt does run into trouble climbing Ganon's tower, as I'm in agreement there.
He gets those cold step off balls in the corner and immediately goes for them again like a hot knife through, but the sword is the butter itself.
It looked like he did pick up some bombs from Cold Stare, but I couldn't really make it out through all the explosions. Looks like Matt will be making his way up to Turtle Rock to finish off the last crystal, and then make his way into Ganon's tower.
Yeah, nice and convenient to be able to finish off either Turtle Rock or Tower of Hera before we go into Ganon's tower.
Matt using the hookshot speed glitch on the ladder there, but then taking a hit from the falling boulder and canceling it.
Yeah, those always look like falling cabbages to me, and I don't know many people go particularly fast after taking cabbage to the face.
I'm a big fan of calling them cabbages myself.
Actually, because we are in December now, Brussels sprouts would be more appropriate for that. I personally really love Brussels sprouts.
As long as they're sauteed in butter and bacon, they're really good. dK's falling off.
Yeah, he's not quite getting this bump.
This was indeed a ped seed, chat, where the big key to Desert Palace was found there. A little too far north, dKs.
I think that's good. No, not quite. Not quite. Considering this was a ped seed, it has been a remarkably quick key sanity seed.
And this is remarkably quick, I believe, even for just a key sanity, let alone a ped key seed.
Indeed.
Hour 10 and hitting go mode? That's crazy.
We found mostly logical progression all along the way through our check. Haven't had to go out of our way to find any trolly items that are hiding in particularly bad spots. Even though we have checked locations such as Spike Cave.
Nothing was really too difficult to find. It's been a very easy seed in terms of being cruel.
He's going to pick up this small key from the Hokuboku here and then ignore that big key chest because we don't need it. We're just going to go into the basement and take on Trinex.
We won't even need to see the laser bridge.
Or Mimic Cave. I'm quite happy with skipping Laser Bridge myself. I don't want to see the Fire Rod and the Ice Rod on Laser Bridge again.
I did see that match. That was very entertaining.
Matt remembers that he doesn't need to go outside and loop around to check the big key chest. He can just take the doorway. Quite a lot of runners actually forget that.
dK's having some trouble with the Cold Stare using his blue potion he picked up earlier.
Matt is just ignoring the chest here. He doesn't care about finding silver arrows.
The Silverless Ganon fight is not terribly difficult as long as your timing's down, especially with the Butter Sword.
Yeah, I believe it's just 8 spins per phase with a Butter Sword.
6.
He's got 6? I stand corrected. He's got 14 hearts and blue mail, so he's in a pretty good spot. Spends his last key to get into the Trinex area. No need to check out Laser Bridge today. DKS is meanwhile taking that Bomber's medallion straight over to Mizumaya, and is going to clear that out. Unfortunate for him that he missed the that he didn't go in pod the first time, or he would have been in go mode quite a bit sooner, and this race would be a little closer.
DKs will have murder-dactyl wings for breakfast. Or dinner, I suppose. Matt making quick work of the fire and ice heads on Trinex.
Very easy with the butter sword.
And the zero cycle on Trinex. That makes Matt completed with his crystals.
So, if we hadn't found a Ganon's Tower big key inside of Palace of Darkness, we could play a guessing game. But we won't be doing that today because this is Key Sanity.
So we will not even be seeing the 22 items in the basement. 21 items in the basement. Oh, 22, tile room. I always forget tile room.
We've got all the small keys we need for Ganon's Tower anyway, so we won't even be looking in the basement at all. Still choosing to skip by that half magic. I definitely would have taken the time to pick it up earlier. If I was in go mode like right now, I would probably skip it, but still interesting that both runners saw that half magic and just skipped.
Matt must be very confident in his ability to aim his magic around. We're just going to dash straight north here, straight up. Get ready to take out Aga 2 once we reach the top. Matt running out of arrows on the red mimics and finding those 5 under the jar, saving his bacon.
Yeah, he might run into a bit of trouble at Ganon if he needs to pop his blue potion at all to recover life in his ascent up the...
Matt only having 2 arrows remaining. Oh, now 1.
I mean, we're not going to be needing those silver arrows for Ganon because we don't have the silver arrows, so he can freely spend all his arrows here if he so chooses. Taking a few hits from the beamers here. And the Zazaks are proving quite elusive at the moment, taking some more hits from those beamers.
Deciding to go to the fire rod for his ranged attacks. Will he use the powder on this bunny beam? No, he will not. Having a little bit of trouble with the land movements.
But gets a kill. So we're mostly past the gauntlet now, although he is pretty low on health. Hopefully we don't get pushed off the platform and take unnecessary damage from by. Getting bodied a bit by the guards in here. He does get out the lamp for the torches in here because we're running a bit low on magic. Though we do have a full magic refill in the next room to top his supply up.
with needing to use the fire rod on those 4 torches. It's usually a really good grab to make.
So we've got 2 Smokies, so we're not even going to need to kill the Hemosaurs in this room to pick up their Smoke.
Looks like he will be using his powder to collect these 2 fairies here and heal himself up. I'm only deciding to pick up one of the fairies.
Takes up Mordom too without any trouble at all. Really check the chest here to try and get those silvers. Not quite. 10 hours, but overall.
Wrong color arrows, but handy.
dKs here is making his way through Turtle Rock meanwhile. He is at a fairly large time disadvantage here. Unless Matt takes some Ganon falls, he's pretty much got this.
Making a double there.
Yes. Just a single there, plus 1 blue ball.
And a lovely
a triple.
Finishing off Aga 2. Now, as a reminder, immediately following this race, dKs and Matt will be finishing their matchups with their 3rd race immediately following here on Speed Gaming 5. So we should watch that.
Yep, stay tuned.
And here's the big blue bacon.
Very quick to get through each of these early phases with the buzzers. Uses a hookshot to get some invincibility frames to avoid those fireballs. We don't want to be taking too much damage here because we don't have that much life and protection.
Very quick to phase 3 here on the Ganon fight. You got to get that hit in while Ganon's jumping so he doesn't spawn that nasty fire bat.
Did you find the arrows in my tower? Gets that torch glitch.
And there's his first spin hit.
Wastes a bit of magic there, relighting that torch.
Matt doing excellent with his timing, hitting Ganon within those very few frames where he is vulnerable.
Just misses that one.
He's got to be careful. He's getting really low on magic.
He does have a blue potion. Luckily, he did not need it for the Ganon's Tower ascent at all. He made an excellent job getting through there with...
And that's the pig down.
Get your GG's intact for Matt7898. What a nice key sanity pedestal seat this was.
Success indeed. Now, due to these two having their 3rd game immediately following, they will not be able to come in for victory interview.
They're just going to be getting ready straight away for that 2nd race between the two. Here, dKs is going to ascend up to Ganon's Tower and finish it up.
Make sure to give these runners a follow. They did put on a really good show for everyone.
mean, the best way of following them right now would be to just stay here on Speed Gaming 5 and check out their next.
And there will be a new commentating and tracking crew for their Game 3. So you get to hear someone else's dulcet tones talk about what they're doing.
Whoops, going up and down the stairs a couple times, sir.
Well, you got to get that cardio in. This is a long trek. And jumping immediately off the bridge.
Yeah, jumping off the bridge gets him those invincibility frames for dashing past the cannonball. If you're feeling like swag, you can just dash past those cannonballs and dodge them more if you're got really good. Otherwise, I have seen some runners just pull out the cane of burner and dash through to make themselves invincible. Struggling a bit with the stealth in here. Like Matt before him, DKS is down to only a couple hours left, so he is just going to be killing most of his enemies. Bit of an easier time with the Sasax in this room.
Not having any trouble from those nasty Beamoses either.
Well, he did get hit twice there. You just had to jinx it, didn't you?
That seems to be my gift. I talk about how great Matt was doing with his spins, and then he misses one.
Now, DKS does choose to powder the anti-fade in this room, so this makes the Lamb Molars pattern slightly different to what Matt expected.
Yes, their pattern is reliant on how long you spend in that carpeted room. So if you actually take some time and wander around in there, it will be very different. Making quick work of the whiz robes in that conveyor belt room.
And he's just going to go for the firework for the torches here. He's got a lot more magic for getting through this section. Very nice job with the gauntlet overall.
Yes, he didn't have any trouble with the pitchfork wielding guards there in that first room, either.
Just like Matt, he's got enough small keys to just be able to go in here and forget about killing the Helmosaur. Not checking the two chests to try and find silvers either.
He doesn't even need to powder that anti-fairy and bunny beam. He's almost full up on health.
We'll see if Moldorm decides to be a Trolldorm for him, but not.
Very fast work of Moldorm.
And he's skipping the chest, unlike Matt. He's very confident in being able to do Ganon and Fat Silvers.
He doesn't need those 10 arrows anyway.
Right, so we are at Aga 2 again, and the funny thing about Aghanim in Randomizer is that the patterns for Aghanim will be completely the same for each runner. They will only change if one runner decides to mirror out or take a death, and at which point, if they return to Aga, this pattern will be different.
DK's having a couple of problems there on his first few cycles. Only getting a single on the previous two shots here. And there's a double.
Ooh, gets a blue ball there to prevent the double. And these Agas are getting quite decent. This makes it a bit harder. down he goes.
Now, geometry boss is done. Time for Ganon.
So DKS is heading into this Ganon fight in roughly the same state as Matt was. I think he does have a spare blue potion for making this just a bit safer in case he needs.
I honestly do not remember if he picked up another one or not. And we get to listen to Ganon claim he will defeat Link. But I think at this point we all know better.
If this wasn't on the Japanese version of the game and that text was in Google Caps, I'd suspect that to be almost vanilla text. If a little basic for what Ganon usually likes to talk about.
Okay, so opting to run through Ganon. Oh, not quite getting it. There's that nasty fire bat.
Takes a hit. Oh, and there goes another.
And you have to be careful with this one because the fire and the bat will actually push you in the opposite direction you are holding your D-pad.
He doesn't want to take any chances here. He immediately uses that blue person to restore his life, even though he is full of magic. I think his other bottles are all filled with bees though, so he hasn't got any more safety. Did you find the arrows in my tower? No, we didn't. They're probably sitting in the basement somewhere. A basement that we haven't had to touch at.
Taking advantage of that torch glitch.
Yeah, you really want that torch glitch if you haven't got half magic it's somewhere in. And again, we did find half magic. The runners didn't decide to pick it up despite seeing it, and
if memory serves, it is 12 gold sword spins to take out Ganon's Silverless.
that's what I counted in Matt's kill. It's quite a lot more spins if your sword is a bit weaker, but we've got the gold sword today, so this is still fairly easy. DK still has plenty of magic, so he just uses the fire rod to light that torch again. We don't need to be that efficient. We're at the end. We're not going to be spending our magic on anything else.
Little early there. And dKs kills Ganon. Get your GGs in for dKs.
Excellent race by these two runners. Now, like mentioned before, Matt and dKs aren't going to be joining us for an interview, unfortunately, because they are just going to be getting ready for their next race immediately after this one on Speed Gaming. So, stay tuned. We're going to be launching into the second race pretty quickly, and other than that, we'll wrap things up with our commentary and tracking here. I am with Helping Ocelot. I've been joined today by Scantor86, who has done an excellent job with commentating the seed. And our tracker today was Nifboy, who's also done a great job of tracking. So, what was your favourite things you saw in this seed, Scantor?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that, please?
Oh, what were the favourite things you saw in this seed?
Really, Matt's execution on each of the bosses was pretty top-notch. He was able to take out the landmillas without a problem at all with the fire rod, which is a preferred method of use for myself as opposed to the arrow. Finding everything really came in one after the other. Very straightforward finding all the stuff.
I've got to say, this not only was this a quick key sanity seed in general, it was a quick pedestal key sanity seed. It's not often that you are dipping the pendants to get the items you need for logical progression, and then find out you need to dip those pendants anyway to go get a key on the pedestal to clear out a crystal. Although the seed was pretty early on, the seed was pretty teasing with the possible Aghanim 1. We got the lamp early, we got the mustard, we got a castle towers key early. It was almost going to happen. Up until we checked that wonderful waterfall cave with the bow and the moon.
I have never seen 2 progression items in that cave before. And if I were looking at the times, and only the times on this seed, I would have told you without a doubt that this was an open Ganon kill randomized sword normal seed, with Matt finishing at 134.29. That's a normal time just from what I've experienced. I would never have guessed this was Key Sanity.
Yeah, some particularly bad normal randomizer seeds with keys with items in nasty locations can take a lot of time, even longer than what we spent today on a key sanity seed, where you're expected to check almost everything to try and find those keys necessary to complete.
I did take a little bit of joy in Misery Mire being the Bombos after finding the Ether and Quake medallions really soon. What was your favorite part of this seed, Ocelot?
I think my favorite part was not getting my predictions coming true of Vanilla Hookshot. But check out that collection rate on Matt7898, 130 out of 216. That is extraordinarily low for a key sanity.
Indeed it is. It's, again, it's a normal check. And I've seen plenty of runs higher than that. But yeah, I would, again, just looking at the numbers, I would tell you without a doubt that this was a normal open seed, no special variant whatsoever. That just goes to show how skilled both of these players really are at Randomizer.
Yeah, unfortunately for them, they have ended up in, like I explained but just before the race, they ended up in an extremely stacked group with the likes of KillerApp23, Brain, and LG Andy, who have pretty much gone and collected a huge amount of wins. I believe at the moment, Brain is in first place in the group and KillerApp second. Andy still has a few more games to play before he finishes the group, so he may be taking that second spot. Matt and dKs are just playing to improve their standings at the moment. Unfortunately, they don't have a chance of getting into the brackets, so they're just looking to get some wins, improve their standings, and get a better overall rank in the tournament.
I'm not sure of any of their other records right now, except for Bwayne's, which I believe right now is 11 wins and 3 losses. He does have his final match coming up on Wednesday.
Okay, well, I think that about covers it here. We are going to be handing over to our second commentary team and next tracker very shortly for our second race between Matt7898 and dKs89. So once again, I am Revolving Ocelot. I've been joined today on the commentary by Scantor86. Thank you for joining us for this excellent race tonight, and we'll see you in the next race between these two runners.
Stay tuned for the fun.